The detonation comes quietly, not with a press conference, but with absence. The next morning, Warner Bros. Promotion calendars still list Prince, but the man answering to that name is gone. Interviews are declined unless the symbol is used. Performance contracts arrive addressed incorrectly and are returned unopened. The anchor detail is the contract envelope itself, stamped and rejected, a paper trail of refusal. According to accounts, executives realize too late that the fight has shifted from negotiation to attrition. Within weeks, the industry adapts against its will. Radio hosts stumble over the artist formerly known as Prince. Print layouts stretch to accommodate the symbol. The contract remains legally intact, but its power is diluted by confusion. Every time the symbol appears on stage or album art, it reminds the public that the name they knew is owned by someone else. The stakes, control of identity and output, are now visible to everyone. At Paisley Park, Prince records relentlessly. The anchor detail is the vault door, closing on finished albums that cannot be released under the existing contract. According to insiders, dozens of songs pile up, complete and mastered. This is the cost that will later be measured in millions. Music withheld, tours complicated, commercial momentum deliberately slowed. Prince understands the price. He pays it anyway. Warner Bros. Responds by enforcing the letter of the agreement. Release schedules are capped, singles are limited, marketing budgets tighten. Publicly, the label emphasizes partnership and patience. Privately, frustration grows. The contract was designed to manage output, not to be challenged symbol by symbol. Prince's refusal to be marketable on their terms turns compliance into a daily negotiation. The cultural reaction is immediate. Younger artists watch closely. Established musicians speak carefully. According to some accounts, industry meetings begin referencing the Prince situation as a cautionary tale. The anchor detail is his cheek again, the symbol inked during appearances, reminding everyone that marketability is enforced, not inherent. Fans debate whether the sacrifice is worth it. Prince never explains himself directly. He lets the silence do the work. Years pass in this standoff. When the contract finally nears its end, the leverage flips. Prince fulfills the remaining obligations, releases what he can, and waits. The moment the agreement expires, he discards the symbol publicly and reclaims his name. The anchor detail is a simple announcement: Prince is back. The act feels ceremonial, but it's also surgical. The contract no longer holds him. The aftermath ripples outward. Warner Bros. Retains a catalog but loses the narrative. Prince regains control but absorbs the financial loss. Analysts later estimate the cost in delayed releases and reduced promotion runs into the millions. That number becomes shorthand for what independence can demand. Prince never disputes it. According to people close to him, he considered it tuition. What changed the next morning wasn't just his career, it was the conversation. Labels became more cautious about artist branding clauses. Musicians began asking harder questions before signing. The contract fight entered industry lore, cited in negotiations long after the symbol faded from headlines. The anchor detail is the contract itself, now a reference point rather than a weapon. The meaning settles slowly. Prince's refusal to be marketable wasn't anti-commerce, it was anti-erasure. The fight wasn't about refusing to sell, it was about refusing to be owned by a definition that limited creation. By weaponizing identity, he exposed how often art is throttled for predictability. He showed that marketability is a system, not a trait. In the end, the myth isn't that Prince beat the system cleanly. He didn't. He paid, publicly and privately. The myth is that he made the cost visible. He turned a contract dispute into a cultural lesson, using a symbol as both shield and blade. The anchor detail returns one last time. The contract, signed years earlier, now powerless. its influence ending not with a lawsuit, but with an artist who refused to bend. That's why the story endures, not because he won easily, but because he proved that sometimes becoming a myth is the only way to stay free.
The note doesn't move. That's the first escalation. Prince holds it steady while the band keeps playing, and the anchor detail is the drummer's right hand hovering a fraction too long above the snare, unsure whether to hit. The groove wobbles, not because it's sloppy, but because the center of gravity has shifted. According to witnesses, the keyboardist glances sideways, trying to find where to sit under that sound. The band was built to dominate space. That one note is now doing it alone. The next night, at rehearsal, the comment is still hanging in the air. The anchor detail is the same microphone, now wrapped with fresh tape, placed dead center on the stage instead of off to the side. Prince doesn't reference what happened. He calls for a run-through. The band launches into the song again, louder this time, as if volume could reassert order. Prince lets them. He stays silent through the first verse, eyes locked on the floor monitor, counting. Then, halfway through the chorus, he steps in again. Different note this time, higher. According to accounts, it's not even part of the original arrangement. The anchor detail is the way the background vocalists instinctively pull back, their harmonies thinning so they don't clash. No one told them to. They just knew. The room adjusts around him in real time. At rehearsal the following morning, the pressure becomes explicit. The anchor detail is a producer's voice cutting through the room. Let's make sure the vocals don't overpower the band. It sounds technical, neutral, but everyone understands the subtext. Prince nods, says nothing, and asks to start from the bridge. The band complies. The groove locks in. This time, when Prince sings, he doesn't go high, he goes low. A single note again, placed so precisely it hums against the bass line. According to insiders, the bassist actually smiles mid-phrase, realizing what's happening. This is the thesis revealing itself in stages. The argument was never about range, it was about authority. The anchor detail is the soundboard at the back of the room, levels being pulled down one by one, not on Prince, but on everyone else. The engineer is chasing balance, but balance keeps tilting toward the same place, Prince's voice. By the next rehearsal, the challenge has turned into a test. The anchor detail is a whispered exchange between two band members. Let's see him try that again. Prince hears it, or maybe he doesn't need to. He cues the band into a different song, one known for its dense arrangement, horns, backing vocals, layered guitar lines, a wall of sound by design. If there's any place his voice should get lost, it's here. They play, the room fills. Prince waits until the exact moment the band peaks, then steps forward. This time, he doesn't sustain the note, he bends it, just slightly. According to accounts, the band lands in a frequency pocket that shouldn't exist. The horns drop out instinctively. The guitar player lowers his volume knob mid-strum. The anchor detail is the way the sound seems to clear a path for itself, like the air making room. The hierarchy is cracking now. During a break, the anchor detail is Prince sitting alone on the edge of the stage, microphone resting on his knee, while the band huddles near the amps. No one is laughing, no one is dismissive. The conversation has shifted from whether he can out-sing them to how he's doing it. Technique, placement, breath control, the things you don't argue with. That afternoon, someone asks him directly. The anchor detail is the question, quiet but loaded. How are you cutting through like that? Prince shrugs, says it's just listening. According to witnesses, he taps the microphone once with his finger and adds, and knowing when not to sing. The room goes quiet again, not stunned this time, but attentive. The final escalation comes during a full run-through, lights on, no stops. The anchor detail is the camera set up to record rehearsal footage, red light blinking. This is for documentation, for later review. Prince knows it, the band knows it. When they hit the song again, everything is dialed to maximum. This is the band at full force, proving its power on tape. Prince waits longer than before, almost too long. Just when it feels like he's going to sit this one out, he steps in and hits the note again, cleaner, colder. According to accounts, the camera mic distorts on everything except his voice. That's the moment. Not the note itself, but the reaction. The band stops playing, not because he asked, but because they can't justify continuing over it. The room doesn't erupt, it locks up. The anchor detail is the silence after the note ends, heavier than the sound itself. Everyone knows what just happened, but no one says it yet, because saying it would make it official. And Prince hasn't delivered the final proof yet.
The note fades, and the silence that follows is the real weapon. The anchor detail is the microphone still raised to Prince's mouth even after the sound is gone, his posture unchanged, forcing the room to sit with what just happened. No one claps, no one laughs it off. The band members look at each other, then back at him, as if waiting for instructions that don't come. According to people in the room, this is the longest pause of the entire rehearsal. Prince lowers the microphone slowly. That movement is the detonation. The anchor detail is the way the drummer exhales, sticks dropping onto his thighs, the physical release of tension now that the hierarchy has been reset. Someone near the soundboard mutters, "Okay." It's not praise, it's acknowledgement. The exact consequence lands immediately. The anchor detail is the producer stepping forward, voice softer than before, saying, "Let's reset levels." Not "Prince, can you pull back?" but levels, plural. The implication is clear. The band is now adjusting to him, not the other way around. Prince doesn't comment. He walks back to his mark, sets the microphone on the stand, and waits. They run the song again. This time the arrangement has changed without anyone rewriting a chart. The anchor detail is the guitarist leaving space between chords, the keyboardist thinning the voicings, the backing vocalists choosing harmonies that frame instead of compete. Prince sings the same note again, but now it sits comfortably, almost effortlessly, because the room has learned how to carry it. After rehearsal, the aftermath spreads quietly. The anchor detail is word traveling through hallways and side rooms. You should have heard it. No exaggeration, no myth yet, just testimony. According to accounts, musicians from other sessions drift in later, asking which song it was, what key, what register. The answer disappoints them. It wasn't about the song, it was about placement. The next morning, the shift becomes policy. The anchor detail is a revised rehearsal schedule that now includes dedicated vocal passes, not for polish, but for respect. Prince is no longer treated as a frontman riding the band's power. He's treated as an instrument that can reconfigure the entire mix. No announcement is made. The change simply appears, like a rule everyone pretends has always existed. Culturally, the moment hardens into legend. The anchor detail is how people later simplify it. He hit one note and shut everybody up. That's true, but incomplete. What froze the room wasn't volume or range, it was certainty. Prince didn't argue, he demonstrated. In an industry that loves debate, he answered with sound. The band adapts quickly. The anchor detail is the drummer later telling a friend, reportedly, "You don't play over that, you play with it." That sentence becomes a quiet thesis passed between musicians. Prince didn't out-sing his band by overpowering them. He did it by making them irrelevant for a moment, and then inviting them back in under new terms. The industry takes note. The anchor detail is other producers referencing the rehearsal when talking about vocal dominance, about how some voices don't need space carved out, they create it. Prince's reputation shifts subtly, not just as a multi-instrumentalist or a showman, but as a vocalist whose authority can't be engineered around. Prince himself never revisits the incident publicly. The anchor detail is his refusal to mythologize it in interviews. According to people close to him, he didn't see it as a victory, it was a correction. The band questioned whether he could out-sing them. He answered once. That was enough.
The long-term consequence is deeper than pride. The anchor detail is how future arrangements are built with the assumption that his voice is the axis. Songs bend around it, tempos breathe for it, silence is left for it. That one note didn't just end a debate, it rewired the process. In hindsight, the freeze in the room becomes symbolic. The anchor detail is that first stunned second after the note ended, when everyone realized they'd been measuring the wrong thing. They thought singing was about volume or range or force. Prince showed them it was about control, over pitch, over timing, over attention. That's how myths are made in real time, not with speeches, not with slogans, but with a single, undeniable moment that leaves no room for argument. They said Prince couldn't out-sing his own band. Then he hit one note, and the room learned how quiet certainty can be.